I was the co-founder of the band back in 2001. We're mostly a local band that, branched out at its end. And in 2003, we were just starting to step out and tour, and still very young, very naive in so many ways. And we did a few stretches in Seattle and the West Coast, but we did a few gigs in San Francisco, California in July in 2003, and I was the only one that made it back, apart from our manager, but the rest of the band perished in the accident. It was an exhaustion and overcorrection in an old van, so I don't recommend getting those anymore.
It must have been extremely hard for you.
Yeah, it still is. I mean, even coming back, I think. I live in the California desert, so it's very opposite of Portland, Oregon. But being back, it is really great and cathartic, but I see all the sights here, old places. Yeah, it's not easy. Yeah.
From what I understand, and this is just only from what I've read, you guys were kind of on the verge. I mean, things were really happening, and it was one of those stories where you're just ready to explode. And
I honestly feel like it's not a what if, it's just a when. It was just a matter of time. That's how strongly I felt that we were going to be catapulted into something, that was going to be what we did. I had no doubt in my mind then and even now that would have happened for us. But yeah, we had a lot of steam and a lot of muscle behind it, and just came to a quick stop.
Talk about the music that's left behind.
Music that's left behind. Well, we left behind one album, and it's pretty much stuck around for the last 20 years, and it's now become a generational hand-me-down from old punk to new punk, basically. That's what this record is. It's a gateway record now. It's everything that I wanted to do when I was a teenager. I got my first copy of Ramones, and I was like, this is the band I would want to be, right? Like, I want to be this to some kid, and that's what I think we are now. I think it's like when you get to be my age at 42, like, gotten tired of the record and I give it to a younger kid. That's what I think we've done. And that's all I really cared about and all I really wanted to do with music. So I think we accomplished that. And we have a new label, which is Third Man Records. They did the reissue, and they did it very well, and they did every single ridiculous thing I asked them to do with the album. I asked them to put a giant shattered exploding heart in the record and then make it a picture disc, and they did that. And so they just understood the project and the legacy, so they took really good care of it. So now it's got a home for the next 10 years. So, yeah.
Are you playing music still?
I am, not as frequent as I probably should be, but I do a lot of recording in the desert my buddy Pat's, who actually recorded the album 20 years ago. He lives about 20 minutes away from me, and then I do some recording with the guys at Rancho de la Luna. It was the 20-year anniversary of the album last year, and I put the album on tour, and it was great. It was really fun, and I thought that was it, and it turns out it's not. Seems like there's still demand for it.
What does that tell you about the band?
I don't know, man. But it's really weird because it's just me, and I feel kind of fucked up about it. Like, but it works. It kind of works. Like, I just never thought it would, but that tour last year showed me that it does, and there's people that want to see it and hear the song. So I think that I would probably be doing a more disservice to the band if I just stopped it completely. I think that that's me gatekeeping and guarding something that doesn't need to be guarded anymore. So, yeah.
Have you had, they talk about people who have survivor's guilt.
I do have survivor's guilt, absolutely.
Yeah.
I do, 100%.
And how are you dealing with that? This is too personal, man. Just tell me. You know.
That's all right. We're going that way. How do we deal with that? 20 years of dealing with that. I didn't deal with it well for the first probably 10 years afterwards, and then I decided that my depression and my none of us were wearing seatbelts in the van, right? And where I was placed, to me, like I was able to stick my foot under the rail of the bench and grab whatever I could to hold on. And I think for me, the thing to keep in mind is that I fought to stay here, and I didn't just let it happen, or I don't know. I tried to stay alive. So I think the choice was that when I was not doing well years ago, is that I had to remind myself that I chose to be here still, and so I chose that I could actually start living my life again, I guess.
Good for you. That's great. Yeah. So if the other members of Exploding Hearts were here right now, what would they think of this eye?
Because you're asking me what I would think of them as 20-year-olds.
That's okay.
It's no secret that we were a handful. And we were very opinionated, and we were shitheads, and lovable. But so it's hard for me to think of anything in the sense that even 20-year-old me would say at that point that's colloquial or honorable. But I think that if they were all here, I don't know. It's such a strange thing for me to think about. Is what would I think of people that have been gone for 20 years? Say, and all I can say is I know that they'd feel like that there would be they would be happy, and and that's why I'm here as well, so I can speak for them as much as I can.